Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So 63-year-old Florida man and former California resident Kevin Galetto, I think is how you pronounce it, he coordinated his trip to D.C. with a friend, and he texted a group of friends on December 28th, and he said, quote, "Time to fight for our freedom." On January 6th, Galetto became separated from his friend, and they exchanged text messages trying to locate each other. And in one of these text messages from Galetto to his friend, he sent a photo that was taken on the lawn of the Capitol, and he wrote, quote, "Breach the White House." A short time later, Galetto was seen on surveillance video. He entered the Lower West Terrace tunnel. He was the fifth person to enter the tunnel. He was pursuing officers that had retreated into that area. And Galetto was seen raising his arm. He pointed at the police behind a set of glass doors, because there's a set of doors at the front of the tunnel, and those doors were open. And then the police retreated to a second set of glass doors that were further back in the tunnel. So he went to that second set of glass doors. He was pointing at them. He was screaming something as he was advancing towards them. And Galetto was standing by. He was watching as another member of the mob used a knife to shatter the glass on the tunnel door. That was one of the arrests that I just covered this week. Now, this was the only thing that was separating the mob from the police. And as soon as that glass was shattered, Galetto advanced closer to the police, and he started pushing on other members of the mob to try to lend his weight against the officers. They were pushing against the officers. He was pushing against them. So Galetto then moved to the front of the crowd. He maneuvered through them, and he was seen on body cam footage grabbing an officer's riot shield. Then he was seen using both of his hands and pushing against the officer's shield, they said, for 2 minutes straight. Sometime after that, Galetto turned around, and then he started pushing against the officer's shield with his back. And according to the prosecutor, this officer eventually collapsed because of the constant pressure from the entire mob. So Galetto fell as well. The cop fell down, Galetto fell, and then someone in the crowd realized that the officer was on the ground and at risk of being trampled. And so this man yelled out, not Galetto, but someone else, quote, "Get this cop up. We got a man down." Galetto was right there, and he offered no help. He later tried to claim that he was shielding the officer with his body, but the prosecutor said the body cam footage proves otherwise. And the officer remained on the ground. He was yelling for help for like another 2 minutes. And then other officers were finally able to get to him, and they got him back on his feet. So after about 5 minutes, Galetto exited the tunnel. And as he was walking out, he was waving to the crowd. He yelled, quote, "More people." And then a little over an hour later, he came back. He entered the tunnel a second time. He worked his way toward the police line again, and he took part in that heave-ho, that coordinated push against the officers. And he was also, again, pushing against other people in the mob, pushing, as they were pushing against the police. Eventually, the police successfully pushed the mob out to the entrance of the tunnel. And then as Galetto was backed up and walked outside backwards out of the tunnel, he fell. After leaving the Capitol, Galetto texted some of his contacts, and he wrote, quote, "I was at the front of the attempted breach. After Pence turned, crowd was pissed off." Also, quote, "We fought hard today, made history, sore as hell, was fighting with police." Also, quote, "History, these politicians need to be overthrown. Pence is a traitor." Trader. I'm not sure what he's trading, but he's a traitor, like Trader Joe's. Trader Pence, Trader Mike. Anyway, he wrote, "Very sore, was in the front line. Pence broke the last straw. Thanks, we're done as a free country." Galetto also engaged in a text exchange with someone who asked if he had been arrested yet, and Galetto responded, quote, "Not yet. They're running facial recognition to locate those involved. FB, Facebook, Twitter, Google, etc., are cooperating with the Chinese and our treasonous government." Yeah, because you know how much the Chinese want to help us stop an uprising in our country. Yeah, that's their goal. So Galetto was arrested on April 23rd of 2021. And in a superseding indictment, he was charged with civil disorder, obstructing an official proceeding, assaulting officers, entering a restricted building or grounds, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, and 2 counts of physical violence. In April of 2021, Galetto pleaded guilty to civil disorder and assaulting officers. So he was looking at up to 8 years in prison, 3 years of probation, and $250,000 in fines. However, the prosecutor requested only 27 months in prison, 3 years of probation, and $2,000 in restitution. And the government noted in his sentencing memo that Galetto has no criminal history. That's why they went easy on him. And in fact, he has a master's degree. He was earning a 6-figure salary per year as a quality control engineer prior to this whole thing, prior to the Capitol attack. So U.S. District Judge Colleen Kolar-Cotelli presided over this case. I couldn't find any details about what was said at the sentencing hearing, but Galetto was sentenced to the full 27 months in prison, 2 years of probation, and $2,000 in restitution. So almost everything the prosecutor requested. I just wish they had asked for a longer prison sentence. I think, they would have gotten it with this judge. So why not just go for it? But, especially with someone who's putting hands on police, getting physical with them, and one of the main instigators in that tunnel, I think they should have gone for longer, even without a criminal history. Anyway, I will let you know if I hear any more. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please like this video, share it with others, become a subscriber if you have not already. There's like 55% of you who watch and don't subscribe. You're just voyeurs. You're just being shady and creepy at this point. So hit the subscribe button. If you can donate, really appreciate it. It really helps to keep the show going. So love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.